I am likely going to get in some trouble for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I caught a clip today from one of my favorite podcasts. I'll link them in the comments. They were chatting with a gentleman named John Lee, and he dropped a bomb. He called the return to office push a quiet layoff. Are you effing kidding me? That hit so hard. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. During COVID, many companies massively overhired. Now, instead of cutting loose the talent, they're quietly pressuring people back into offices under the guise of restoring culture. Here's the real kicker. 73% of companies will require employees to be back in the office 3 or more days a week by the end of 2025. That's nearly 3/4 of businesses turning attendance into a subtle form of downsizing with no official layoffs. Meanwhile, employees are reminded that remote, which, by the way, consistently drives up retention and productivity, is on its way out. Companies are reclaiming control of bodies, not necessarily delivering value. It's a strategic squeeze, not a refocus. This isn't about boosting performance. It's about trimming staff without triggering an HR mess. And if you're hearing more chatter about, oh, we're an in-office culture, than talking about your compensation, that, my friend, could be your warning. So if your company insists you're back 5 days a week, or they're dangling incentives for FaceTime, pause and ask, is this a culture reboot or a quiet exit strategy? So if you see through the haze, drop BS in the comments. Let's not go quietly on this one.
What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel that having workers back at work is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing? What do you say that the overall context is and the overall plan of why companies are doing this? Do you agree with it? Do you guys think it's not fair? If you're currently in a situation where you're working from home, do you think that it's necessary for you to have to go into the office again? Or what do you believe is the movement of the reason for companies doing this? Do you think it's fair? Would you agree? Would you disagree with it?
300,000 employees. The federal workforce is to lose 300,000 employees, and this is led by Donald J. Trump. He actually went to the Supreme Court to ask for mass layoffs of federal employees, and he got it. 300,000 federal employees to be laid off in the next coming months, in addition to what's already happened. If you did not know, Washington, D.C. right now is a disaster. It has the highest unemployment, the most houses up for sale. Business is down because of the troops. Washington, D.C. is a disaster, but so is every other state. So expect another 300,000 people in the workforce competing against you. These people have masters and PhDs. They actually went to the government to serve. They typically make less money. You can thank one man and one man alone.
So President Trump has agreed to let go 300,000 federal employees, most with PhDs and masters, from the workforce. How do you believe that this would actually affect you in the economy, knowing that these are going to be the same people you're going to have to start competing against now in the workforce?
Yet another major company announcing 9,000 layoffs, as well as a return to work mandate as soon as next year. This is yet another one. How many layoffs have you heard about in the headlines lately? If you don't get in your side hustle bag and let that side hustle free you through strategy, implementation, creativity, and what you already know how to do, plus your experience, you are going to be on the wrong side of this next job market economy, because they are getting rid of thousands of people like you, like me. So it is very important to start tapping into your creator mode. What are you interested in? What are you talented in? What do you scroll at 2 a.m.? What's important to you? What skills do you have? What specific knowledge that do you have that maybe the everyday person doesn't have? And start tapping into that and start creating content on it and start creating digital products on it, whatever it takes, so that you can help the next person get free. Whenever people are making these digital products, people are just thinking like, oh, they're just trying to make money. No, they are pretty much capitalizing on the information that they had to earn to understand, so that you don't have to earn in the way that they had to earn. You don't have to work as hard as they had to work to get this information. Just like my $27 PDF, this is information that I acquired that the next person won't have to go through all the hoops to acquire like I did. So these companies doing these massive layoffs, it is not the start. We ain't even at the middle, and we won't be at the end anytime soon. It's going to get worse in 2026. Go ahead and start focusing on your exit strategy.
Given the fact that everyone's being laid off, regardless of who you are, skin complexion, expertise, degrees, what are some side hustles that you guys have in mind that can provide value to others? What is something that you can see yourself doing on the side where it's making you income? Comment down below so that we can share this wealth and information to help each other out in a time of need.
All right, I have some very troubling news. If you did not know, it's Thursday and the unemployment claims are announced on Thursday. U.S. jobless claims surged to 226,000 claims this week alone. That is the highest, my friend, since 2021. Let me tell you some other statistics so you can understand the upward trend that we're going to and what that means for you. Right now in the United States, we have 7.2 million people unemployed. The unemployment rate is 4.2%. That is up from the prior month. This is the 4-week moving average. As you can see, it has gone up. 4 weeks average is going up. The continuing claims increased to 38,000. What that means is it's taking people longer to get jobs. That is the highest since November 2021. Companies are currently laying off. Companies are currently not hiring and not spending money. Consumers are not spending money. A recession is coming. Something that we have no idea how bad it will be because we've never been in this situation in our lifetime. This is all self-inflicted. Please get your finances in order and follow for all things personal finance and economic news. Light up all these buttons. We've got to get the word out.
There are currently 7.2 million people unemployed and 226,000 unemployment claims currently in the U.S. What do you guys think? How can we make our situations better and position ourselves for what's to come? Comment down below what strategy you have in mind to share with the community.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for like months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where, like, my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script. But my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that, number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because, at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this. And I'm really sorry if you're going through this too. Here for you.
It seems as if, regardless of you having a master's degree or any degree in general, if you're not a union worker or an essential worker, your job could possibly also be at risk. Comment down below what ideas you guys have to try to avoid and find alternatives for these issues that we're all facing in these hard times.
I will be losing my job after September 30th. I don't know if I'm gonna be laid off. I don't know if I'm gonna end up finding something before then within the same realm. But I am not the only one that's gonna be laid off. In my department alone, by the way, before we start, I work for Miami-Dade County, local government. And I just want to bring awareness to what's going on because I don't see this in the news. I don't see this on Google News. I don't see it on the TV, our local news. I don't see this information anywhere. So I had no idea this was coming. We had no idea this was coming. And now we are being faced with being laid off on September 30th. We are expected to get a letter soon, probably within the next 7 days, letting us know our next step, basically, if we're going to be laid off, demoted, with that pay, with the demotion pay, not the pay that we was getting before, or put on part-time or sent here or there. I don't know. When I tell y'all I'm so confused right now, I think I'm hurt more because how confused I am. So all of a sudden, abruptly, I get a notice to come to a meeting. And I didn't make it to that meeting because I was really sick. And I didn't even know it was going to be a meeting. Listen, the meeting was called late at the last minute, like a real true emergency. So it was for the next day though. But I didn't see none of that, so I didn't know anything about it. So the weekend went by and I was told that we had to come to the meeting if we missed the meeting, which was me. So I go to the meeting and I see a bunch of HR people lined up and my bosses, like my big bosses, and I'm looking like, what's going on here? So they go to tell us that we will be impacted by budget cuts. And it's not just we, like our entire department, the entire department. And then I'm not even gonna get on that yet, but the entire department is going to be impacted by budget cuts. So I'm still quiet. So then they say, if you haven't been here for 5 years, you're not invested, whatever the case is, you will be a part of that impact. And just so it's happened, I just left from my teaching career of 6 years to come and work for the local government. And a lot of people might want to say, why did I do that? Whatever. But it was just more free. Like, I don't know. It was something. I wanted a different scenery, so I did what I had to do. I could easily go back to teaching. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, but I can go back. So anyway, they tell us they're going to put some new positions up there. We can apply. Some of them will be full-time, some of them will be part-time. Make sure that we are eligible not eligible. We're qualified. We are qualified to work those positions. So my problem is, it's in my department, they're laying off the managers. In my department, my little division, whatever, they're laying off the managers because the managers are easier to cut and have one manager for several employees at the same location. Like, they see it like, why would you need two managers at the same location when one manager could manage everybody? And I get that. And I agree. Because when I first got there, that's what I thought it was. And then I come to find out it was two managers. And I was like, why? And I was over these little group of people, and that person was over the other group of people. So that was just, weird or whatever. But neither here or there, I didn't create the wheel, and I wasn't trying to recreate it because I was involved anyway, right? So all of a sudden, somebody get the bright idea that, yeah, it need to be one manager, and they control all of those people at their location. No shit, Sherlock. But in the process, families, hundreds of families. I'm not bringing this to y'all because it's just me and my little tiny department. That's a total of 50 people, I think, in my department. Salaries being taken alone. And I don't know how much they get paid or whatever, but right there is probably like about $1 million, 1.5 million. And then it's probably way more than that. I said 50, huh? I don't know. But anyway, it's millions of dollars. So by millions of dollars, so that's one department. And they just, when we was asking questions, nobody know why. Nobody know how. And I come to y'all with this, not to only bring awareness, but I like to know how. I like to know why. And to just be abruptly taken from my comfort zone when I wasn't even looking for a job, it bothers me. And I'm wondering, is this even possible? Can you just scream budget cuts and just let hundreds and thousands of programs and employees just go like that? Can you just do that? And who is it to benefit? It's not gonna benefit us in the long run. We already know that. So who is it benefiting? Then I turn around and I do more research, all to find out that my county is funding the World Cup next year. And it will really hurt me to find out that I got cut from my job so a motherfucker could play soccer. Now, I'm not saying soccer is not a good sport or none of that. What I'm saying is, if it's not broken, what's there to fix? You gonna cut all these fucking people off, all to turn around and watch soccer and have a cold heart about it? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had a certain respect for our mayor here in Miami-Dade County until this happened.
If you made it to the end, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and drop a blue heart if you made it to the end. Thank you for watching.